Hey, Mark.
Yes, Lucas.
Did you hear about Kyle Harrison?
I did.
Look at Lucas making us pivot
Thank you, producer.
to actual content.
I don't think we can't do any more laughs. This is not
Why?
giggles and dibs.
I can't. Wow. that was a 4.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's like Charlie Steiner on SportsCenter back in the day. Remember when he got the giggles and he couldn't stop? I like to laugh. I'm sorry. What do you want from me?
No more laughing.
He wants
Why?
hardcore news.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Dateline Sacramento.
the downfall of the youth movement with the San Francisco Giants. Join us live on 95.7 The Game at 4:53 every Friday when we get ticked off. Here it is.
Was it the Grill House?
No.
Okay.
Might have been. Anyway.
Nice. Giggles are gone. Great work, everybody.
No, they're not.
Don't speak too soon.
Kyle Harrison has been sent down.
Dude, the Giants just sent down Kyle Harrison.
I'm mad at Farhan.
Okay, I predicted yesterday. Remember what I said?
You got it wrong.
I said they were going to activate Ross Stripling and maybe send out Casey Schmidt. Well, instead, they activated Michael Conforto and sent out Casey Schmidt. And then they did activate Ross Stripling, and they sent out Kyle Harrison. I don't know any other way to say this. I don't like it. I understand it, but I don't like it. Now, I don't know what they know. I don't know if Kyle's got some arm fatigue.
Looks like it.
I don't know if Kyle is...
Velo's down, Mark.
Right. I don't know if he's overwhelmed by this emotionally and physically. I don't know. But the Giants are heading into a stretch where they've got a realistic shot at a playoff spot, and they were about to head into it actually with 5 starters. They were going into it with Webb and Cobb. Manaya's been starting, Keaton Wynn, and Kyle Harrison. And they just swapped out Kyle Harrison for Ross Stripling, who has a playoff resume and has been good in years past. But he has not been good this year. So the home runs given up by Kyle Harrison, Ross has been doing that too. And I think this is the rub for Giants fans. Here's what I'll say. If you go with Ross over Kyle, you better freaking win. You better go get the playoff spot.
Are you saying it had better work?
Well, in a way, yes.
Don't backpedal now, because I like where you're at.
I'm not backpedaling.
We went from giggles and laughs, and by the way, Christy on the YouTube has figured out where you guys dined. We'll get to that later. I want to keep you where you are right now.
Where was it?
Because you're about... No. Focus on me, Mark.
Hang on.
Focus on me.
No, I wanna...
Mark, right here. Mark, I'm right here.
Treat.
Anyway, okay.
You want a treat?
Yeah.
Stay mad. Mark, you want a cookie, Mark? Stay angry. You were about to bury these fools for a short-sighted move. You're taking your phenom, and you're basically wrapping him on the nose with a rolled-up newspaper in order to give Ross Stripling quality innings.
I don't
get pissed, Willard.
I don't care about wrapping Kyle on the face with the newspaper. I don't care about that. If he's got arm fatigue and if something's going on, right, I don't know what I don't know.
Doc Pandia on our YouTube feed
Says what?
arm fatigue? Question mark?
Oh, question mark.
Well,
I want arm fatigue, period.
he's not there. He's not going to ever arm fatigue, period, if he's not, presiding over the player. That's what makes him such a great medical expert, is he makes analyses from afar that are based on medical suppositions.
Well, he'd been throwing 94. 2 weeks earlier, he'd been throwing 97. Is that arm fatigue? Is there something else? This is the most innings that he's thrown in his career. I get it. The Giants are trying to win over the next 3 weeks, and they should. Quick aside, all of you very weird Giants fans who are rooting against them over the next 3 weeks, that's what you are. You're weird. I don't understand that. I don't understand it at all. This whole sort of fear that the Giants are going to make the playoffs and then pat themselves on the back and act like everything's okay, you don't need to worry about that. The owners are in charge, and they are upset. 22,000 showed up in the building the other night, and oh, by the way, I was there, and it wasn't 22,000. So the owners are upset, and they're still going to be upset whether the Giants grab the 6th seed or not. So change is afoot. So wipe that aside. Don't worry about that. and be a fan and root for your team to make the playoffs like a normal fan should. That's what I'd say. But back to this.
Stay mad.
If they know something about Kyle, fine. But you are sacrificing valuable experience for your future potential number one starter. You're sacrificing playoff chase experience for him for someone else. If you do that, it better work. Ross better pitch well. You are picking Ross Stripling over Kyle Harrison to go down the stretch, and the only way that is viable and a good decision is if Ross comes in and essentially pitches like he has not pitched all year long. He better pitch like last year's Ross Stripling, or else you're sacrificing valuable experience for Kyle Harrison, and I think that is very short-sighted.
I like it. I like the anger, and I love
Not
the
anger. It's just
No, I like
that's
the
where
anger.
I'm at.
I like the edge, and you are just about to just bury Farhan Zaidi, and I like that. And hopefully we'll get you there over the next hour or so.
If
I'll say
he pitches
this.
well, then great.
Ross Stripling has never won a game as a Giant. He is winless. He's 0-5 with a 5.28. Ross Stripling, I'm sorry, 5.29. Don't want to sell him short.
I
He
got
has
a
not been good.
5.29. I'm hoping to use it when the kids go to college.
Is
Anyway,
it
go ahead.
possible that Kyle Harrison is just down for a little bit and then he can come back up in a couple of days? Because I
don't
don't
know.
believe his turn wasn't going to come up until, Monday?
It is possible, and the Giants do have a doubleheader tomorrow.
So they might need a fresh arm. They might need a fresh gas can.
You know, I will reserve judgment. If he's back for his next start, great. If this is just to bolster yourself for the doubleheader because Kyle would not be ready tomorrow, great. I'll take it all back and tuck it away.
Sure.
But if you're saying we think Ross will be better than Kyle down the stretch, you're sacrificing important experience for Kyle, and I'm down with that if it works.
If it works, yeah.
Ross
I
better
get
come
it.
in and pitch well.
And
Got to come in and pitch
This
well.
is not the most Kyle has ever pitched. And you look at last year, he threw 113 innings combined. This year, he is at 101, I believe.
Well, point being,
I'm sorry, no, he's only at 92.
Point being, if he pitches out the rest of the year,
It'll be close.
yeah.
He's looking at 3 more starts if he stays on turn, which, his starts have been 4 or 5 innings. So it'd be close to about his maximum innings, which was last year, 113 innings over the course of 2 stops, lower level, lower impact, you would imagine, in terms of, how much effort you have to exert pitching single A, double A. But I think you're right in terms of it had better work. I'm going to hold out hope that this is a temporary move in order to get a fresh arm. You got 3 games over the next 27 hours or something.
Yeah.
Because, you play here pretty soon.
They will play their 3rd game.
About this time tomorrow.
In 24 hours. It's a 6 o'clock Mountain Time start tomorrow is the 3rd game.
So 24 hours from now.
They will play.
So you're looking at 3 games in a day.
I guess 27 hours if you want to talk about to the end of it.
That's kind of where I was going. Also, if Kyle Harrison's not on turn, and I don't think that he is, because he pitched on Wednesday.
He threw on Wednesday. Yeah, he threw on Wednesday.
So 35, he would pitch Monday. He can still pitch Monday because, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, his 5th day would be Monday. So if he's not going to pitch anyway, why not bring up a fresh arm? I can't believe that.
Totally fair.
I'm going to say this, but I'm Team Farhan in this move.
Well,
I like the move, Mark.
If what you're saying is correct, and that's a very good thought, then totally fine. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
Maybe they, I'm sorry, before the legal, maybe by sending him down, maybe they just send him to the hotel and say, stick around.
Yeah.
We're not sending you all the way back to SAC.
By the way, Monday, in theory, being his next turn, they don't play. They next play Tuesday in Arizona.
Okay.
A massive game. Are they going to give that game to Kyle Harrison? That would take some cojones.
Yeah.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco. Always live in the free Odyssey app, Twitch and YouTube, powered by First NorCal Credit Union. It's a fair thought. And, yeah, let's play it out. Let's see what happens. But if the decision is we don't like where Kyle is, listen, if it's arm fatigue and they feel like they're protecting him, I could understand that as well. But the bottom line is I'd like to ride with Kyle and see what happens here, because he's also still capable of coming out and completely overwhelming the other team. And the pennant race start is very, very valuable for him. Even if he comes out and gives up 4 runs in 5 innings. Okay? The Giants' next 6 games are in some of the best hitting conditions in all of baseball. You go out and give up 3 or 4 runs, so what? Go get 3 or 4 runs. You should be able to do that in these ballparks. So I'd love to see him pitch. You might be right. Maybe he throws Tuesday. If so, all good. But if they're choosing Stripling over Harrison right now, he has to succeed, or else I think it is a very short-sighted move. Let's go to CJ in the city here with Willard and Dibs. Hey, CJ, what are you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys? Nothing much. Just kicking back on this beautiful Friday, getting ready for the Giants game.
Right on.
Man, I'm still believing, But, man, what I want to talk about is, first thing is, I have mixed feelings about Farhan Zaidi, because I saw what he did with the Dodgers farm system and what he's capable of producing. If you look at that lineup, most of that work is contributed directly to Farhan. So I can see what he's capable of. But as far as, filling the stands, what I think it'll take is just a straight up, this is what we're doing. Not this, I think somebody said earlier, it feels like a NASCAR pit stop where these players come by to try to revive their career and then they're gone, like Carlos Rodon, Kevin Gausman. We don't know who's going to be here this year, who's going to be here next year. If the Giants put out the farm system, 7, 8 players from the farm system are playing on the lineup, and you fill the remaining spots with other players trying to revive their career, we can respect that as a fan base, because we can see that, hey, they're sending a message out there that they're trying to win with the farm system. And as far as my eyes can tell me, the farm system looks decent. Marco Luciano, I don't know why they sent him back down, but he was looking really good. He looked like he was ready to be an everyday player up here. And as far as Gabe Kapler goes, I'm going down the list, but that's my last stop. The pit stop, and the NASCAR is going to end with Gabe Kapler. I think there's a disconnect between him and the players, honestly do. I think some players like him, some players dislike him. I called yesterday and I said the last time Zach Littell kind of slammed the ball into Gabe Kapler's hand because he asked for it. So, I just feel like there's a disconnect, and also with the fan base. We see him constantly disrespecting reporters, just trying to put them in their place. The reason why we love Bruce Bochy and the reason why the stands were filling up when Bruce Bochy was here is because we respect Bruce. Bruce is a straight up, he'll tell it how it is, and you can respect it because you can tell, he has a love within the clubhouse, and it's not a coincidence that Posey retired 2021 right after they won 107 games. That's not a coincidence. That happened for a reason, and that season, I'm not gonna say it's a fluke, but I'm going to say the Giants played their heart out for Buster Posey, because there's no way they didn't know that he's not retired, that he's retiring. He told them, so they played their heart out for Buster Posey. That wasn't contributed to Gabe Kapler. Let's not give Gabe Kapler the props to that. And thank you guys for letting me vent. That's all I got.
Yeah, CJ, you bring up a lot of really interesting points there, man. Thank you very much for calling.
Good call.
Yeah, a few different things, if I can remember all the things he touched on. First of all, I don't think you're allowed to take away. We can't decide when we credit a manager with the record and when we don't. That's my opinion. 107 wins is on the ledger. He won the National League Manager of the Year. Yep. He gets that. Buster Posey did feel at the beginning of the season like he was going to retire. I don't know how public he made it in the whole clubhouse. And then he said throughout the year nothing changed his mind. Is that tied to Kapler or not? I really don't know. As for why the fan base loved Bruce Bochy, it wasn't just because he kept it real. It's because he won 3 championships.
Yep.
And if Gabe Kapler won 3 championships, you'd love the hell out of Gabe as well.
For sure. We'd all get hand tats.
As for his relation, I will totally get a hand tat if the Giants win 3 of the next 5 World Series. Mark it. If the Giants win 3 World Series in the next 5 years, I will go to Santa Cruz to Christie's tattoo guy and get a hand tattoo, even though I vowed to never, ever, ever get a tattoo in my life. My God. Anyway, Zach Littell, that was Zach's fault. Do all the players love Gabe? Probably not. I think it's worthwhile to play for everybody what J.D. Davis said to us yesterday with regard to this very subject.
I think we all have a pretty good relationship with Cap. I think he gets it. He's as a former player, and then as experience over in the Dodgers, front office of being up there in that totem pole and now being a manager or having that opportunity manager in Philly, then coming over here and having a manager in the Giants. He's had a lot of experience and he has his door open to many guys who have issues. When he had a talk with us the other day, he talked about how he was in every situation as a player, as a front office, and as a manager, being ridiculed or being praised. So he has a lot of perspective in different areas in the game, and I think he gives that constructive criticism in a way. And he loves guys that have the aptitude and the accountability and to go out there and just grind it out, even if it's bad or good. And I think he has a lot of respect for a lot of us, and just it is what it is, I think. I think we all have a great relationship with him.
Okay, so listen, publicly, is a player going to say anything bad about Gabe? Not necessarily. Are you going to go kind of on and on the way JD did? Maybe not. I'll say this. I don't think it's a perfect relationship for all the players. We know some of the ones who aren't, but I also think it gets overblown in the other direction. I do think there are some players, at least in this clubhouse, who very much appreciate playing for Gabe Kapler.
Right. I wonder, player versus pitcher, how that varies, because it feels like the pitchers, the majority of the people in the clubhouse who maybe aren't Kapler fans would be the pitchers. Jock Peterson's a great example of a hitter who has said repeatedly, yeah, I know my role and I play my role, and yeah, maybe other people are more upset about the decisions that are made than I am. I know what I'm here to do, and I go out there and I do it. But if you're Manaea or the aforementioned Ross Stripling or Anthony Adisclafani, or if you are Alex Wood, pitchers who maybe have felt like they're getting jacked around, or at the very least aren't being used the way they see themselves as being used normally. Manaea and Wood and Stripling, for the most part in their careers, have been starters, and under Gabe Kapler, they've been used in a variety of different roles. And if you're a veteran pitcher, the majority of those pitchers don't like that because there's a certain amount of gravitas that comes with being a starter. You're the starter, and you're getting 90 pitches or 100 pitches to go out there and ply your trade. And if you get lit up early, they get that. Okay, you're coming out of the ball game, but by and large, you're a starter. You're getting 5 or 6 innings to go out there and pitch.
Yeah, and if your ERA is 5.5, you get sent to the pen, and that's as old as the Amish.
But
shout out Marshawn Lynch. Anyway,
honestly, that's as old as the Amish after a certain amount of a sample size, not after 1 or 2 starts. And if you look at the game log of Manaea and Stripling and Wood, DeSclafani got hurt, so he's not really as much in this conversation, but those guys got a lot quicker of a hook in the interest of analytics. And an old school manager, you got your 4 guys and maybe your 5-man rotation, and you know what? You're getting till June before I even look at the damn stats. But not now.
I'm going to remove Alex Wood from this conversation. I understand that Stripling and Manaea just became Giants. Did their move to the pen get a little quick because the Giants were having success with openers? Yeah, you can make that argument. Alex Wood, every time I'm going to bring this up. Okay, he started 26 games for the Giants last year. All of his appearances were all starts. His ERA was 5.1. I think he's a great dude. He came on the show. He speaks freely. I really like Alex Wood. He does not have an argument here. He just doesn't. He has not pitched well as a starter for a very long period of time. And he has always struggled the third time through the lineup. You've never been able to consistently get 6 or 7 innings out of him successfully. So the Giants decided, you know what would make Alex really valuable? Make him really valuable if we're in a 3-3 ball game or if we're down 3-0, our starter gets knocked out in the 3rd or the 4th inning, Alex could come in and give us his 3 or 4 innings and get us to the back end of the bullpen, and he does that well, and he has done that well. So, dude, accept your role. You earned it. You earned it.
Well,
by not pitching well.
The counterpoint,
as a starter.
and I just looked at his game log. This is Alex Wood's game log to start the year. Started and gave up 1 earned in 3. Started, gave up no earned in 4 2/3. Started, gave up 1 in 2 1/3. That's all the starts you got. Now you're in the bullpen. So he started 3 games.
Yeah, but give those
he
innings
pitched 10
again.
innings.
Yeah, but give those innings.
But his ERA was 1.8. So
Right.
you can't say he didn't do well in that role.
You
He
also-
started and pitched great.
Yes, I can. Because he had 3 starts and threw 10 innings. That's not good. That means there are runners on base when you left. If the bullpen bailed you out, great. Or your pitch count was high. If you are starting,
the pitch count was 71, 75, and 33.
which is brutal when you're talking about being the 3rd inning. Like my man
Right.
Alex, your job is to go throw 6, and he can't do it.
Well, I
for
don't.
a year and a half.
The
now.
counterpoint, I think, would be that he didn't really get a fair shake because after that, the next game is maybe he got hurt because he didn't pitch again for 3.5 weeks.
He did get hurt.
So then when he comes back, he's in the pen. Then he starts and he doesn't do great. He did all right. Then he didn't do great. And he started 5 or 6 games and he struggled. He gave up 6 runs against San Diego, and that was just about all she wrote. Out of the pen, couple starts out of the pen. I think that Alex Wood is an example of a guy who probably doesn't know his role.
Well, again, to me, this bleeds over from last year also.
Sure.
Alex
sure.
Wood, 26 games, all starts.
5.1.
5.1.
Not great.
No.
Yeah.
Beyond not great. Terrible. Terrible. An ERA over 5 is awful.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's bad.
It's bad.
So
It's bad.
And his ERA this year is over 4.5.
So then this year he comes out and he gets a chance to start, and then he does pretty well in a small sample. Then he gets hurt, and then it's pen. Now you start, pen. Now you start. I do think that, and we know this, pitchers are creatures of comfort, and so Alex Wood probably feels as though he never really got into a comfortable spot. Manaea, Stripling, right or wrong, and if the Giants are, a 90-win team right now, nobody's got squat to say, but the team has been struggling, so pitchers feel like they can chirp a little bit.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I get what the frustration would be. For me, the only thing to say about that is, for those guys, if it's being communicated to them incorrectly, then they have a point. But if the team is saying, hey, guys, all of you have ERAs over 5, all of you. You're all 5 ERA pitchers. So we're going to try this. That's totally fair. You don't always like the decisions from management when you're an employee, okay? But if you're not doing that well, they're going to make some changes. So I put that on the pitchers. If they're being told, hey, you're going to start tomorrow, and then they wake up the next day and they're like, we're just kidding. You're not even activated.
Yeah.
Then they've got a point.